In the earliest times when the universe had just taken shape and the gods began to rule from atop the lofty Mount Olympus, humanity was still a fragile species living in darkness without fire. Without tools, without knowledge, and without hope, they shivered through cold nights fearful of wild beasts, famished and alone. The gods watched from their thrones with indifference, unmoved by the suffering of mortals. Yet among them was one who cared, Prometheus, a titan whose heart brimmed with compassion. He had helped mold mankind from clay and breathed life into them, considering them his children. He could not bear to see them struggle helplessly against the merciless forces of nature. He longed to give them a gift that would change their fate forever. Fire was the divine flame that burned only on Olympus, a sacred symbol of the gods and a source of power. Zeus, king of the gods, had forbidden humans from possessing it, fearing they would grow powerful and rebellious if they were no longer dependent on divine favor. Zeus sought to keep them ignorant, humble, and submissive. But Prometheus, driven by love and defiance, resolved to disobey this decree. One stormy night, as thunder rolled across the heavens and lightning split the sky, Prometheus climbed the sacred mountain and entered the halls of the gods. There he stole a single ember, hiding it within a hollow fennel stalk, a plant that could conceal the flame without being consumed. With careful steps he descended from Olympus, crossing valleys and peaks, braving storms and shadows until he reached the realm of men. There in the still of night he revealed fire to them and lit the first flame that flickered against the darkness. Humanity watched in awe as the warmth spread, the light danced, and fear gave way to wonder. With fire they could cook their food, forge weapons, build shelters, drive away beasts, and eventually begin to think, to speak, to dream. Civilization was born from that one glowing ember. But Zeus was not pleased when he learned that Prometheus had defied him. His fury shook the heavens. He felt betrayed, humiliated, and enraged. He decreed that Prometheus must pay a terrible price for his rebellion. Zeus ordered Hephaestus, the divine blacksmith, to forge unbreakable chains. Then, with the help of the war gods, they dragged Prometheus to the remote cliffs of the Caucasus Mountains. There, in a land of eternal snow and howling winds, they bound him to a jagged rock exposed to the sky. As part of his punishment, Zeus sent a monstrous eagle to torment him every day. The eagle would swoop down and tear into Prometheus's side, feasting on his liver. Each night his liver would regenerate, only to be devoured again at dawn. This cycle of agony continued for centuries. Prometheus never cried for mercy, nor did he express regret. He endured in silence, his pain overshadowed by his unshakable belief that he had done what was right. Far below the cliff, mankind flourished. Villages turned into cities, tools into machines, words into songs, and myths, all of it traced back to that stolen flame that Prometheus had gifted. No one knew of his suffering, but the fire burned on lighting hearths for generations. Time flowed like a river, and soon the story of Prometheus faded into legend. But the gods had not forgotten him. Zeus's wrath endured across the ages, yet fate had more in store. A hero named Heracles, son of Zeus, and a mortal woman, set out on a journey of 12 impossible labors. As he traveled across the known world, he reached the cliffs of the Caucasus. There he saw the chained titan, the eagle, circling above, his cries echoing in the vast emptiness. Heracles, driven by courage and a sense of justice, could not ignore this sight. He lifted his bow, not fearing Zeus's wrath, and fired a divine arrow, piercing the eagle through the heart and ending the torment. With a mighty blow, Heracles shattered the chains, freeing Prometheus from his prison. After so many centuries of pain, the Titan was finally liberated, though Zeus was enraged. Again, he could not undo what Heracles had done. The king of the gods begrudgingly allowed Prometheus his freedom, perhaps out of respect for Heracles's other deeds, or perhaps because even the gods must sometimes yield to destiny. Prometheus did not return to Olympus. He chose instead to live quietly. Observing the world from afar, he watched as humans continued to grow, to question, to build, to conquer. Fire remained their eternal companion in every forge, in every home, in every torch passed from one hand to another. Prometheus did not seek worship nor recognition. His reward was the world itself, moving forward under the light of the fire he had once carried against the will of the gods. And in every flicker of flame, in every candle lit against the dark, mankind might sense the quiet presence of a titan who gave them the gift of hope. Prometheus's story is not just a myth from ancient Greece, it is a symbol of sacrifice, defiance, and compassion. It reminds us that progress often comes at great cost, that knowledge must be fought for, and that even in the face of overwhelming power, the human spirit can burn bright. The tale of Prometheus is the tale of every rebel who dared to challenge tyranny, every thinker who offered new ideas, every soul who chose love over fear. And though his name may fade in time, the fire he gave will never die.